We're breathing with awareness. I'm always learning things from you guys. So it's full moon time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moon. Fill me up, fill me up, fill me up soon. The moon is magic for the soul. I don't know who said that one, but I love it. And then this beautiful quote from Isra al-Tibet. And if you are to love, love as the moon loves. It does not steal the night. It only unveils the beauty of the dark. So maybe tonight you'll take a peek outside, look up at the moon. I always ask my mom to do that so we can see the same full moon, even though we're 3,000 miles away. We'll be grateful for the moon and for a chance to pause and breathe and move our bodies. Oh, I've got too many pillows right here. Just do a scan of your body and make sure that you're not holding or gripping. You can allow your fingers and toes to relax. Your jaw, your whole face, just relaxing. Your shoulders, and your belly. No matter which shape you're in, I'm just going to guide you around the body from the big toes all the way up to the crown of the head. And then at the end of class, before Shavasana, we'll go from the crown back down to the toes. So if you prefer to stretch out your legs, you can, but you can have your legs bent. Whatever shape you're in is just fine. Allow your eyes maybe to close or soft gaze. Bringing your awareness to your big toes. Breathing in and breathing out. And to your ankles. Calves. Knees. Mid thighs. Awareness on your tailbone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Into your navel. Heart center. Throat. space between your eyebrows. Top of your forehead. Crown of your head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Few more breaths right here. Whole body breathing in and out. Bring your hands to touch at your heart center. We'll send some love out into the world from our hearts out. If you have a specific person or place you want to send a wish or blessing or prayer to, please do that. And can release your arms, and we'll draw knees in toward the chest. And we'll start one hand on each leg, and we'll inhale, let the legs go away from the torso, and exhale, draw them in toward the body and then away. Does not have to be a big movement. Your arms will tell you how big the movement is. And just letting the legs go away, inhale, and toward your body, exhale. Can be soothing for the low back. One more time. And you'll find that kind of middle area that feels just right. And then we'll circle the legs. Still one hand on each leg, and then each leg circling. And switch direction. Trying to let the arms do most of the work, taking the legs around in circles. Then the legs will come together, feet and knees staying together as we make a circle now, as if we had one leg. And just gently holding the legs together. Switching direction. Noticing your breath. Noticing how this feels, where you're sensing this movement. This little massage, kind of low back, pelvis. One more time around. And release your legs. You can keep them bent or straighten them out. And you'll let your arms float up, and then we'll begin with some arm circles. Very soft, relaxed circles, any size. And you can switch directions maybe a few times. Your body will just do this. And you'll say, oh, I guess my body felt like switching direction. Let it feel good. Few more breaths, few more circles. And then allow your arms to land in cactus arms, goalpost shape. You can keep your legs long or bent. Press your ribs down, just keep the back body grounded. And then we'll move the arms, rotating, palms down toward the floor, and then open. Being very mindful of the shoulder joint, the difference maybe between the sides. And the desire or attachment to have the hands get to a certain place. Instead, just feel the range that feels good. My palms are very far from the floor. And we go back and forth. And keeping the shoulders and the back body grounded. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's see if you would like to take a few opposite, one palm toward the ground, other arm open, and then switch. And let's pause with the arms in the open position. If this is too much, take your arms in a T shape. And roll your head to one side and pause. If that doesn't feel good, just go side to side with your head. We'll take a few breaths. And through center and to the other side, holding or continuing side to side. Coming back to center and release your arms. Bend your knees. You can take tripod legs, feet a little wider, knees together. Let the arms relax. Let your body relax. We're just going to be here for 1 minute, focusing on the breath. Notice each and every breath. And you can place your arms Shavasana or in a T. Knees are bent, and you can adjust where your feet are comfortable. So I have mine a few inches apart. I'm going to take the right leg and slowly let it go out to the side and back up. And then we'll do the other leg out to the side and back up. It's not floppy. It's a controlled movement, and it doesn't matter how far you go. Just hip external rotation. Oftentimes we notice one side is more receptive to the movement. One leg and then the other. Using a little bit of core work so we don't tip over. And we'll take one more each side. And you can hug your knees in. Let your legs and arms float up, and let's do a few circles, resting bug, ankles and wrists. Switching direction. And you'll keep your arms up, but bend your knees. Press your back down into the mat. We're going to reach opposite limbs away from this position. So right arm and left leg, tiny little bit away, and then back to the home position. Left arm, right leg, little reach away, and then back. You can go as far as you want. You might take the leg and the arm straight out, but you have to come back slow and steady. Controlled movement. For me, I find a ton of work here in my brain and in my core. A little bit goes a long way. Keep yourself steady in the center. I like to press my low back down. Some people allow the natural curve. This is where the awareness comes in. Where do you feel strong? If you take the limbs too long and you lose your center, then we've lost the point of this movement. Awareness, mindfulness, breath. Can we do one more? Each way, you can stop and rest always, you know that. Whew. And then we will stop. Let's spread the legs out, long legs, long arms, and 3 nice long breaths here. And we'll bring the arms back down. Have your pillows, one on each side. Those will be ready for us. And you'll bend your knees again. Your feet, you can change the distance. I have mine a few inches apart, and now both legs at the same time will go out and then back up. So this prepping for Supta Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose. Both hips, external rotation, and then back to neutral. Take 1 or 2 more, and then you'll tuck your pillows right in to your hip crease, and the legs will come out, and you'll pause. Soles of the feet to touch. Make sure your legs feel supported. And then you'll decide. Shavasana arms, arms in a T, maybe arms in cactus shape. Allow the eyes to soften. Maybe the lids close. And you practice observing your body as you inhale and exhale. Notice if your mind wandered, coming right back to the breath, watching the breath, feeling and sensing the breath. Notice if there's any part of the body that could relax a little bit more, maybe shoulders or your jawline. We'll spend about another minute here. You might use your arms and hands to guide the legs back up. You can move your cushions off to the side and roll to your side into fetal pose. We'll pause here for a moment and then we'll transition to hands and knees. But we'll take just a few breaths here into the back body. Begin pressing yourself up. If you prefer to do table seated cats and cows, you can do that. Otherwise, we won't be on hands and knees too long. We have two things to do in tabletop. So you can add cushion for your knees, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And you can always adjust that. It's kind of a guideline. Okay, and then from here, you'll take some hip circles. The hips, the pelvis, kind of roaming around. You can make this as big or as little as you would like. And then you'll switch direction. And then let yourself come back, hips toward heels, modified child's pose. So you can stay on your forearms or you can stack your fists and rest your forehead there. Of course, if you feel like full child's pose, if you want to take your forehead all the way to the ground, you can do that. I kind of like the forearms. You have a lot of space for the breath. And we'll spend just 3 more breaths here. Balasana. We'll come back up to tabletop. Here's our second thing at tabletop will be cats and cows. We're going to do the toes as part of the movement. So toes curl under as you come into your cow pose, reaching chest forward, lifting tailbone. Front of the body is long, and we can take our inhale here. And then exhale, we round. Press the tops of the feet down. Draw everything up and in. And then we inhale, cow, toes curl under. And exhale, cat, tops of the feet press. You can press down through your arms as much as you'd like, kind of pushing into the ground. Each shape creating some length and spaciousness in the spine. And we'll do one more each way. And you'll finish that and come to stand on your knees. So please make sure you have the support of your knees. We will not be here very long, and then we'll come back, we'll come down onto the mat. But we're standing on the knees, toes are curled under. So we already have a stretch of the soles of the feet and the toes. And we'll reach the arms up. Inhale here and to your heart for the exhale. I'm going to do that a couple times, 2 more times. Nice breath. 1 more. Nice reach. And you might like to stay with that pattern, or you'll inhale up, and on the exhale, you'll allow your hips to sit back toward your heels. And then we come up. This is quite sensational on the feet. Do what you can. Doesn't matter if your butt touches your heels. You could just go down a little bit toward. Following your breath, breathing in, breathing out. We'll do 1 more. And then we'll take 1 breath in stillness. And we come tabletop, give the feet a little tappity tap, tap, tap. And we'll come all the way down now on to our belly. You can have your blanket for your forehead, or you can rest your forehead on your hands. Connecting to the breath, adding any type of gentle movement that feels good. You might waggle your hips side to side. You might bend your knees and let your lower legs go side to side. Just taking a few breaths here, connected to the ground. And we find stillness for 3 breaths. And then you'll take arms into a wide diamond. Press your pelvis down, press your feet down, lift your kneecaps, lift your heart. Gaze forward, keep your neck happy. Taking a back bend here. It's kind of a Sphinx Cobra combo platter. And take one more breath. And then release and rest. Any gentle movement that you would like, maybe the movement of the hips or the legs. Noticing how the back bend feels. They can be a little energizing. And we'll do one more. You can take the wide diamond, or if it feels appropriate in your body today, you can come into Sphinx pose. Shoulders over wrists and shoulders over elbows. And then out to the wrists. Feet press down, kneecaps lift, pelvis presses down. You're not trying to drag your shoulders down your back, but do allow them to go away from your ears. Heart forward, gaze forward, maybe a smile. 2 more breaths here. And when you release, you can rest either in crocodile or you can go back to child's pose. Crocodile, you can have your forehead on your hands or on a pillow. Any variation of child's pose is nice if that's what sounds better. We'll spend a minute here resting. From this place of resting, you'll transition slowly with great care on to your back. Locate your cushion or a blanket so we can come into supported bridge, lifting the pelvis. Keeping your feet on the ground just for a few breaths, and then you can decide. Your arms can be anywhere that they feel comfy. This nice, gentle inversion. You may decide now to keep your feet on the ground, maybe take them wider and add a cushion between the legs. You can let the knees fall together so there's a lot of support. And if it feels okay and you want to, you can take your legs up into the sky. We'll spend a few moments here. So you could do legs up and then at any point, bring the feet back down. Taking another 3 or 4 breaths. Bringing your feet back down to the ground. And we'll take 2 more breaths. And lifting off the cushion, bringing your pelvis back down. Taking 2 breaths here, Ardha Shavasana, half Shavasana. And then we'll place the cushions underneath the thighs, setting up for full Shavasana. Time for resting. We're going to do the guided part from the crown of the head down to the toes. And as we make our way down, just let your body settle. Awareness on your breath and on the body parts. And then it will be quiet time for resting in Shavasana. Make sure you're comfortable. Awareness on the crown of your head. Top of your forehead. Space between your eyebrows. Throat. Heart center. Navel. Base of your tailbone, base of your spine. Mid thighs. Knees. Calves. Ankles. Big toes. Shavasana. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, allowing the breath to become a little fuller. And wiggle fingers and toes. And maybe take a full body stretch. And roll to fetal pose on one side. Pausing here. Letting the practice go and starting new, entering your evening from this place, and bring yourself up to sit, hands to heart. Thank you for sharing your practice. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being adventurous. Thank you, ladies.